Ah. I had wondered when you'd wander your way in. No, no, come in. Please. Don't let me get in your way. You look surprised, my dear, but I insist. Whatever you are going to do in my study at 2 o'clock in the morning, it must be of the greatest importance. I wouldn't want to get in your way. No? Interesting. I wouldn't suppose it has something to do with this letter. Strangest thing, really. I found this tucked in the oddest spot. Care to guess? Not a one. Well, I suppose I ought to spoil the fun of wondering. Because I found this little thing tucked under a loaf of bread in the kitchen. Awfully strange place to put a letter, don't you think? Well, imagine my surprise when I opened it. After all, it is a letter in my house. Under my bread, no less. Now, what do you suppose struck me first? That this letter has no addressee? Or... Oh, come here, dearest. No, it's quite all right. Just at my side here. You've nothing to worry about. Ah, there. Easier to see by the firelight, isn't it? Now, I suppose you were being utterly truthful when I hired you and you said you couldn't read. I have no reason to doubt your honesty. So, I'll do you the favor of reading this aloud, for your educational benefit. Let's see. To my dear Mr. Bolton, it has been some time since I last heard from you, and the weather has been so poorly of late. I fear for the worst. You would do well not to come to the city until it clears, as I worry for your health and the health of our mutual friend. Perhaps you would find it prudent to visit him in Boston soon, as I hear he is greatly anxious to hear from you. The weather is very fair there, and the season would agree with you. Shall I go on, dear girl? You suddenly seem a bit faint. Is it the late hour? Have I been working you too hard? I do so apologize. It is only this little sheet that vexes me. You understand, don't you? A letter to a strange man, hidden away in my kitchen. And, well, I wouldn't think on it over much, except, as far as I knew, none of the maids or servant girls can read or write. And our weather has been very fine these past 2 weeks. Better than it's been in months, in fact. Boston, on the other hand, has been utterly fraught with storms. Isn't that strange? Has our mysterious writer perjured themselves, or confused the facts? Or is there a serpent among the weeds? Because after I found this, I began to carefully consider all that's happened in the last few months. Care to learn my conclusion? No. Unfortunately, your position in this household does not give you the luxury of escape. In fact, why don't you sit down, dearest? Yes, just there, close to me. Very good. Now, as I said, I put great thought into all that's happened since you came into my employ. And, strangely enough, even that was suspect. One maidservant leaves, and the very next day you appear. All the proper credentials, letters of recommendation from former employers. In short, You were the perfect fit to the house. Such a boon in the midst of this war. I didn't think twice about hiring you. And what a good little maid you were. Filled every order to the letter. But then, that would work to your advantage, wouldn't it? Officers and regulars hardly see the servants. You'd be invisible. Lingering at the wall during every dinner, listening. No one would suspect you, would they? I see that look on your face. No, don't get up. We must simply get to the bottom of this mystery. Unless there's something you'd like to say. Perhaps confess. No? Well, you've suddenly got very shy, haven't you? I suppose it's understandable. No one wants to be accused of something like this. Perhaps you'd like to hear my theory instead. I'll take your silence as acquiescence. My theory is that whoever our letter writer is, they've written some important information in this code to this, Mr. Bolton. The incorrect report of awful weather here seems to fit the amount of soldiers recently quartered in this city, whereas Boston's had something of an exodus of regulars. And this mutual anxious friend might, I suppose, he's one of your, apologies, our writer's contacts. Oh, shall I go on? You're wringing your hands so much, dear. You must be simply beside yourself in anticipation for my conclusion. Now, how did this letter end up where it did? Perhaps our writer simply misplaced it. Or perhaps they meant to transport it out of the house, disguised as, a delivery of bread to a neighbor. A very simple act, one that someone like myself would never check. Shall I drop the farce, dear? Or do you prefer to writhe in that chair until I outline what I'm sure are some very unfortunate truths? I certainly don't want to believe you'd do such a thing, but times being what they are, even the people in our own households aren't to be trusted, it seems. The only remaining quandary now is what we're to do about it. About you. I suppose I would like a straightforward answer. No pretenses. I simply wish to know, by means of our original relationship as employer to employee, are you aiding and abetting the rebels in any way? Silent and reticent. I see. You know, there is nothing more to lose, my dear. Either you tell me now, and we may better solve this conundrum between ourselves, or a jailer may extract your confession by far more painful means, before lacing that pretty neck of yours on the noose by His Majesty's pleasure. Which outcome would you prefer? A simple nod is all I need. Very good, my dear. Shall I mark that as your confession? That you are aiding and abetting the rebels and the enemies of the king? Most excellent. That wasn't so very difficult, was it? Now, what to do with you? I'm sure you're well aware we cannot simply continue as we were, as though this did not exist. Were the war to end tomorrow, the outcome might be different, but I cannot trust that you will not go behind my back and continue this subterfuge. I'm sure you understand. Perhaps I ought to turn you in. There's a very handsome reward for people like you. Put yourself at ease, dear. I was only musing aloud. While I confess I would find some gratification in seeing you humbled at the gallows, I do not intend to be the instigator of such an execution, nor do I think it a very tasteful tableau to envision you rotting away in a cell. No, we must find a better solution. Ah, yes, I believe I've come upon it. I am not above using a weapon forged in the enemy's fires, you see. You will continue relaying your clever observations to this, Mr. Bolson. However, when you receive a response, or any kind of intelligence from these rebellious contacts of yours, you will immediately deliver it to me. Nothing shall be omitted. In return, I will not name my source to any offer serving His Majesty, and you shall remain perfectly anonymous. Moreover, I shall take you as my mistress. You see, this little episode has taught me that you aren't to be trusted with the degree of freedom your current employment offers you. No, I must keep a close eye on you. And how better to do it than keeping you in my bed? What an intriguing expression, my dear. I suppose you did not anticipate this when you entered the room this evening. I must warn you, though, any other outcome does not see me being so lenient. If you do not accept, I will have you arrested. And what becomes of you after you enter the custody of the king's officers is out of my hands entirely. Very good, my dear girl. I knew you were clever, and perhaps this fracas has confirmed my suspicions. Ah, I did not say we were done. So impatient already. Are you that eager to get into my bed? No. You must stay. Oh, dearest girl, I know this must be terribly confusing for you. Only an hour ago you must have been quite confident in yourself as a spy, and now you're at my mercy. But I promise you, I can be merciful. Is this arrangement not proof enough? No? Well then, perhaps this. Most extraordinary. Perhaps I thought Eli's lips would taste far more acidic. But yours... much sweeter than I imagined. On your feet, my dear. Excellent. I must confess that I've had my eye on you for quite some time.